Technology is advancing so fast nowadays that it's important to look back and remember how far we've come. From your smartphone to the TV in your living room, let's take a look at some past and present technology then and now. Data storage. We couldn't always rely on the digital realm to store everything from photos to messages. Data storage originated in the textile industry during the 18th century, when punch cards were used to record series of instructions from mechanical equipment like jacquard looms. These paper cards were later used to input data by hand punching holes and feeding them into a card reader, which converted specific sequences into digital information. Holes punched on each column would represent number of characters in a standard binary code, and entire programs could be represented as long as the stack of punch cards remained in order. By the 1960s, punch card methods were far less common, and in 1956, IBM also debuted the world's first hard disk drive. The IBM Model 350, which weighed over a ton, contained 50 24-inch storage disks worth a grand total of 3.75 megabytes and was leased to companies from $3,200 per month or $30,260 post-inflation. A decade later, this hulking machine was superseded by a new age of data storage, the floppy disk. These thin, flexible disks arrived in 1971 in 8-inch form, and later in 5 1/4 inches and 3.5 inches, and were written and read using a floppy disk drive. The original 8-inch floppy disk had a storage capacity of about 80 kilobytes, meaning you'd now need about 50 disks to store one 4-minute song worth an average of 4 megabytes. But by 1986, IBM introduced the 3.5-inch version capable of 1.44 megabytes. 1999 saw the arrival of the impressive and super compact SD memory card from SanDisk, Matsushita, and Toshiba. And in 2000, people were first introduced to the familiar USB thumb drive, initially capable of 8 megabytes of storage. Nowadays, USBs can support hundreds of gigabytes of data, and there's even a micro USB smaller than your finger and the thickness of a needle that can hold a whole terabyte. For comparison, you'd need 266,666 IBM 350s to hold that. Most people now rely on the digital capacities of the cloud, first introduced in 2007, which currently holds an estimated 1 exabyte of data, the equivalent of over 1 billion gigabytes. As Moore's law states that digital storage capabilities and speed doubles exponentially every 2 years, who knows what's to come.